All right, we are going to get started on 12-6 guided practice. We are going to do 6 problems together, and then you guys will have your independent practice after that. So on 12-6 guided practice, our first question is asking us, so how does the relationship between meters and millimeters help us understand the relationship between grams and milligrams? Now, you guys have already worked with meters and milliliters. Those are what are going to help us measure length. And so if I start at meter, remember meter was our base unit. Yeah. So anytime we have our base unit, we're always going to start right here. And we already know from our base unit to milli, we're going to have to move our decimal 3 times to the right. So if I have 1 meter, that is going to give me 1,000 millimeters. Okay. And so let me draw that out for you. Remember, anytime we have a whole number, our decimal is always going to be to the right of it. So I'm moving that decimal 3 times, right? If we look at our stairs, so here's our unit, which is meter. We're going to move 1, 2, 3 to get to millimeter. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And that is how I get 1,000 millimeters. All right. So now it's wanting us to compare 1 meter to 1,000 millimeters to 1 gram and milligrams. Right. So if we know that our base unit is right here, and we're going to have to move our decimal 3 times to get to milligrams, we should already know, without having to use our stairs, that 1 gram is going to give us 1,000 milligrams. So there's our relationship, right? Anytime we have 1 and our base, and we're trying to get to milli, it's always going to be 1 to 1,000. Okay? So that is our relationship. All right, we're going to move on to question number 2. So question 2 wants us to figure out who has the greater mass. So I have 1 kilogram and I have 137,000 milligrams. Okay. So that's a pretty far span. So kilo to milli. So I'm going to count how many times I'm going to have to move my decimal to get to milli. So let's see here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So using my stairs, I know that I have to move my decimal 6 times from kilogram to get to milligram. Okay. So again, I have a solid 1, a whole number. So my decimal is behind or to the right. So I'm going to move that down here. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to fill in my zeros. So 1 kilogram equals 1 million milligrams. And so now I have to figure out, is 1 million larger or smaller than 137,000 milligrams? Pretty simple. 1 million is larger. So 1 kilogram is larger than 137,000 milligrams. Okay. Let's move on to question 3. So question 3, I'm going from 9 and 25 hundredths of a gram, and I need to get to milligrams. So I'm converting from grams to milligrams. Now we already know off of the first problem that if I'm starting at my base and I'm going to milli, I'm going to move my decimal 3 times, okay? My decimal is right here behind the 9. So I'm going to bring this down so you can see a little better. So my decimal is here, and I'm going to move 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to fill that in with a 0. So 9 and 25 hundredths gram is the same as 9,250 milligrams. Okay. So let's move on to question 4. Question 4, I have 190 grams. There's my base unit again, grams. And I'm going to convert that into kilograms. Okay, so we're going to go the opposite way. So let's pull this out, our stairs, one more time. So my unit right here, grams, and I need to get to kilo. So from grams, I'm going to move my decimal to the left 1, 2, 3 times, all right? So again, my decimal is behind, 190 is a whole number, behind it or to the right. And from my stairs, I know that I have to move my decimal 3 times to the left. So let's do that. Let's go 1, 2, 3. So 190 grams is the same as 19 hundredths. You can leave that 0 off or you can add it. Either way, it is okay. All right. So on that problem, we went to the left. We had to go from our unit to kilo. Okay. So question 5. I have to say which is greater or smaller or if they're equal. Okay. So I have 7,000 milligrams. And I have 7,000 grams. Okay, guys. Our numbers are the same, but we already know that my base unit, grams, is larger than milligrams. Remember, milligrams is the smallest, okay? So this one's easy. We don't even have to do any counting. We can just look at it. We know that 7,000 grams is going to be larger than 7,000 milligrams, okay? So here's our last one. Question 6. We have 10 to the second kilograms and 10 to the fourth grams. Okay. Just a little reminder. So 10 to the second is like saying 10 times 10, which gives me 100. So that's 100 kilograms. 10 to the fourth is like saying 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which gives me 1,000. All right. So now I have to figure out if 100 kilograms is larger or smaller or equal to 1,000 grams. All right. So the way we are going to do this, you can pick, you can do it different than I do. We can start at grams and move our decimal to the left 3 times. Or we can start at kilograms and move our decimal to the right 3 times. Okay, you pick. I'm going to start with kilograms. And I'm going to move my decimal to the right 3 times to get to my unit, okay? So I'm going to pull that down there. So I have 100. Remember, 3 times, 1, 2, 3 to get to that unit. My decimal is right here to the right of my 100. And I'm going to move it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to fill that in. Okay. So 100,000 kilograms. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Just grams. Or 1,000 grams. Which is larger? Are 100,000 grams. So 10 to the second kilograms is larger than 10 to the fourth grams. Okay? Hopefully this is not necessarily new. The concepts are also kind of the same from converting length and capacity. The only thing that's really changing are our units. Okay? So that is our lesson for today. Please, if you have any questions, email me, let me know, and I will love to help you work through anything. So just let me know. I hope you guys have a great day, and I can't wait to hear from you guys.